It's like a real addiction. Let me tell you why. From the perspective of quantum field, if you're familiar with quantum field, with quantum transition, with being the creator of your reality, with reality transurfing. So you understand that this whole space is a variety and possibilities, right? You can be anything you want. There are millions of fates that you can have, right? So there is a principle called a mirror principle. Whatever you project into a mirror is going to reflect onto you with this world, right? So for example, if you blame everybody and you live and have this victim mentality, this mirror is going to reflect more of that, right? So it all depends on the mirror. So this world is your mirror, is a mirror of yourself. If you are only begin like if you just begin to understand, or if you just begin to embark on this journey, you may not understand everything I say or speak about, but if you already understand something, a thing or two about quantum transition, about manifestation techniques, and about, all of those stuff, you will understand me, you'll get the idea. So the fortune teller works as a mirror. So, for example, if they tell you that you will, the thing is, fortune tellers cannot know your future. Let me iterate. They cannot predict or know your future. They can, okay, some people are gifted, right? Some people can, like throughout history, you may tell me that some people did predict something. But it's a double-edged sword. On one hand, you have a question whether their prediction caused people to believe in that, so that thing manifested, or did they really see something coming and you know, they gave you that fortuitous information. Um, when fortune tellers try to peek at your future, they may see a version of you that would never come true, right? If you believe and you understand that there is millions of versions of you, you could be a junkie, you could be a businessman, you could be a taxi driver, you could be speaking Spanish. There's a version of you that speaks Spanish and maybe speaks Chinese, a version of you that doesn't know English. So basically, they can glance and get into this version of you that is not going to be realized, right? So they can tell you about yourself, but that may not be true. They may not accurately, like, they don't know you see, the thing about life is you are determining your course of action. You're determining your course of action, and you have two choices. You either create your reality and look in the mirror and you know, and speak to your mirror so that it reflects good things and better things to you, or you accept your fate, go to the fortune teller, and they will act as a mirror. So if they tell you that you are going to have to travel to Europe, or you will have to have a visit trip on, like if you have to go to Europe to find your love, or if you have to go to Europe to get approved for some job or whatever, you will take that. And whether you believe it or no, it will have to be part of your reality. It will like people who don't believe in themselves, in their ability to manifest, in their ability to, people who don't know the alternative space, the quantum field, people who don't know how things work, people who don't know the metaphysical existence, people who only think that physical stuff exists in this world, are going to take their word as a mirror, as a fact, something that's upcoming. And on a subconscious level, that's what's going to happen. I know a person that is trying to get a visa to some country, and a fortune teller told them they have to go through Europe and then they will be approved. And so they got rejected 5 times, and now they decided to go to Europe because they had this in the back of their head that the only way to that country is through Europe. They'll apply for a job, or I don't know. And so it's like an addiction. They always constantly need to know what's going to happen. They constantly need to believe in the next stage of their life. They don't create it actively. They don't actively look on the mirror and just, you know, manifest stuff. They just rely on someone else. So that's why I say that if you don't want to bear the consequences of having to put it up with your life, like if you don't want to take this information and live with it, you would not like you don't have to go to a fortune teller. That's why it's forbidden in many religions. That's why, they say in Islam it's haram. Like you don't go to a fortune teller because you are the creator of your reality. You choose your path. Um, you actively, along with God, create your own life. You can be anyone you want, and this is a fact. If you don't believe it, that's your problem, right? Which is why I'm here to help you navigate through that. But it is a fact. You have a choice, right? You have a choice. You can be anyone you want. And so when you go to those people, they can either destroy your life if they tell you bad stuff or bad things. You will keep that in mind, and there is a big chance of that manifesting. And if you give them a tip or two, or if they are a good person, they will tell you good news. And so because of you believe in that, you will end up manifesting that. So that's a very dangerous stuff. That's a very dangerous thing. And it's like an addiction, like a pendulum. You constantly need to go to it to get energy. It takes your energy or you take its energy, doesn't matter. It's a pendulum. And so this is why it is not advisable. However, guys, the choice is yours. I'm merely here sharing my knowledge and opinion. Thank you so much for today, and I will see you next time.